Hello everyone, I'm Suman. So in this video, I'm gonna explain like how to read different files using pandas. So in order to read the file, first we have to import the pandas. So I have already imported the pandas as PD and also the numpy as np, and now I'm just using pd dot. If I just give tab here, you can see the available functions using the available functions in pandas, and at the bottom you can see these are the functions which are useful for which are useful to read different kind of files. So you can see we can just able to read the CSV file, Excel file, HTML, JSON, pickle, like SQL. Yeah, we can able to read the table, and also we can just able to read the XML file, right? So we can able to read all those kind of files. Mostly we're gonna work on CSV files. So first we will just try to understand how to read these CSV files. So for that I'm just using pd dot read underscore CSV of. If I just give shift tab, you can see the complete explanation of this read underscore CSV. So these are the arguments which you can just pass in this read underscore CSV. So there are a lot of arguments available. We are not going to discuss all the available things, and let's discuss some important arguments which we mostly use. So first one is file path or object. So here we're going to give the what is the name of the CSV file so that it can able to read that. And here you can just see the separator. So if you just see the CSV file, the CSV file will be like it's a comma separated file. So if I just try to open that CSV file, so here you can see I just have the CSV file. If I just open the raw format of the CSV file, so you can see you can see the CSV file, like we have the data, and also it's the comma separated. CSV is nothing but comma separated values. So you can see the all the values available in the data are like in the CSV file are separated by commas, right? So that's the CSV file, and you can see here the separator we have just given, right? The default separator will be a comma. It means since the file we are reading is read underscore CSV, the separator will be some a comma, right? So that's the reason the separator will be comma. So for example, let's say if you are reading some other file, like the file which is separated by a space, or which is separated by hyphen, or which is separated by colon, right? If you want to read such kind of file, you can just mention, then you can just mention in the place of separator, you can just mention that the separator which you have used in your data, you can just mention that. But for now, since we are just using CSV file, the defaultly we have the comma here. So we don't want to change anything. So similarly, the delimiter here, so even this delimiter is same that of the separator, and you can see even we have the header, right? So this header is nothing but, so you can see the CSV file here. So this header automatically takes the first row as name of the columns. So you don't want to give here even this header, you don't want to give. So if you don't have, right, for example, if you don't have any names here, if you don't have any names in your, like any column names in your CSV file, whichever row is first, so it just takes that as a name of the columns. So, or for example, let's say if you want to pass your, so here you can see I have some column names like sepal length, sepal width, petal width, and species. So if you want to pass your column names, for example, let's say if you want to define some other names, so in this header column you can just pass a list of column names which you have to specify. So in that manner you can just mention your column names, and also you can just see the names here. So even this is same that of this header file. And so if you want to so even see there are a lot of other arguments as well, like if you want to skip rows, right, like you can just mention the rows which you have to skip, you can just mention the number, or you can just mention the list of value, like list of rows that you have to skip. So you can just mention that, so that while reading the file itself it will just skip the rows. So similarly you can just mention, right, and you can see there are a lot of other arguments as well. Mostly we are not gonna use all those things, so we are not gonna use all those arguments. Mostly we're gonna use this object, like the file name, as well as the separator, right, as well as the separator and the delimiter and the index column, right? We're gonna use these these five arguments. So now we have understood like what are the arguments available in this read underscore CSV. Now let's try to pass the CSV file. So I'm just using the file which is already present in this location. So I'm just passing iris.csv. So you can see I just read the file iris.csv. It just converted that CSV file to pandas data frame. So like this is how you can just read the file, like read the CSV file using this read_csv. After reading the file, and you can just perform the whatever operations you want. I have already made a video on like how to perform data analysis using pandas data frame. If you didn't watch that video, I will just give you the link for that in the description. So yeah, so that's how we can just read the CSV files. Now let's try to understand some other files. So we also have, for example, let's say if you want to read an HTML page, right? If you want to read the HTML page using pandas, so here I just have the Wikipedia, and here I just open the pandas software page, and I'm just copying the link here. I'm just copying the address, and here I'm just using, and you can see the HTML page, and you can see pd.read_html. I'm just giving the and if I just try to run this, so you can just see we can able to read all the data available in that page. And so you can see I just read the complete page, complete data available in this HTML page. And also you can see we just have another argument match. So if you just read this HTML page, it will just collect all the details available in that page. For example, let's say if you just want if you have any table present in that page, and if you want to, for example, let's say if you have some 5 to 6 tables, and if you want to extract a single table from those tables, so you can just mention, like you can just use the match, right? You can just use the match argument, and you can just mention with the table name which you want to extract. So through that you can just extract that particular table. So that's how you can just read the HTML page using this pd.read_html. And also you can just use, I'm just using pd.read_xlof, and I'm just giving, so you can see I have this example.xls. so pd.read_xlof, I just given the name example.xls file, and you can see it just read the file, like read the complete Excel file. For example, let's say if you are in your Excel sheet, you have some 5 to 6 sheets. So you can, if you want to read specific sheet, you can just mention, and there is another argument even. So you can see the sheet number here. You can just mention that sheet number, and you can just access, and you can just read that particular sheet, right? So that's how you can just use this pd_read_excel and to read an Excel file. And also you can just use, if you want to read JSON file, right? JSON file. So I can just use pd.read_, like JSON means JavaScript object notation, right? It's just an object file, and I'm just using pd.read_JSON off, and I'm just using, so here you can see I just have sample1.json, and I'm just using that sample1.json. So you can see I just got like when I just give pd.read_JSON of sample1.json, you can see I just it just converted that data frame, like it just converted that JSON file to this data frame. So you can see that. So you can see if I just open that JSON file, so you can see this is the format of JSON. So I just given like, so it just converted that JSON file to data frame by using this read_JSON. So similarly you can just use, right? Similarly you can just use there are some other files, like you can just use the HDF, or you can just use SQL if you want to read some SQL queries. Like if you want to read the SQL table, you can just able to do that. And so you can just similarly you can just able to read all the other files also. So I just given an overview like how to read the files using the available functions in the pandas. For example, let's say if you want to, after reading the file, if you want to convert that file to a new file, if you want to store that file to a new file, so you can just, or for example, let's say if you have a JSON, if you have some table data frame, if you want to convert that data frame to CSV file or HTML, or let's say some JSON or Excel file, so we have for that also we just have functions. So right, I will just store this in df, and I will just use that here. And if I just use this df, and if I just give tab here, you can see we have like, in order to convert that, we have like 2_CSV, 2_Excel, hdf html json. We have like these files, right? So we can just use that to convert the data frame to csv files. I'm just using pd.to_csv of, and I'm just giving some data.csv. I'm just giving that. So you can see here I don't have like data.csv file, and if I just try to run this, so now if I just try to open that, if I just try to refresh, so you can see I just got the data.csv file. So in that way you can just store the data frames to whatever the file format you want. Like after reading the files, if you want to convert that data frames back to, like if you want to, after changing the, like after analyzing the data, after modifying the data, if you want to store that to some other format, file formats, you can just do by using this methods. So similarly you can just convert to here you can just convert to JSON and HTML on Excel files also. So that's about this video. I hope like, so this is I just given an overview of how to read the files using this pandas. So like I hope you understood this video. If you feel this video is helpful for you, like the video, and if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please subscribe, and thanks for watching.